So Bob Thorson, as director of the LC Valley Loggers, could you tell us a little bit about how you came to form the team many years ago?
Well, the team started 8 years ago, and it was a kind of a lifelong dream. As a kid, I used to spend my summers in Northfield, Minnesota, where they had a couple of college football teams, St. Olaf College and Carleton College. And I always wondered why a town twice the size of Northfield didn't have a college football team. So as a kid, I used to wish for a college football team at LCSC. And then when I was a teacher there, I tried to lobby and trying to get the athletic department to think about a football team. And as time went on, I thought the only way I'm ever going to see a football team for college students at LC is to form it myself. And kind of based on that premise and mode, we started working on that and started putting the building blocks in place. And about a year later, we had our first season and we had a football team.
So I believe we've had about 6 seasons of Loggers football.
Right, yeah, we obviously we did not play last year. We had the year off last year, and our first season was in 2014.
So you taught at LCSC, and you've had students from LCSC, Walla Walla, U of I. What do you really enjoy about bringing students here for football?
Well, what's great about it is, it acts as a carrot, if you will, to bring kids to college. Now, there's a lot of options that they have and a lot of places they could go, but there was not that option at LC. So, and we always push the academics, me being a former professor and Coach Strawn being a former professor, that lasts your whole life. But this is that brief period in one's life that they can play football, and to do it while pursuing a college education is the greatest, and really sort of why we wanted to introduce football and have the opportunity for kids to do both.
So I hear that this year's team has been doing especially well academically.
It has, and last year that group did particularly well in the classroom. And so a lot of the guys that we're bringing in come in with high GPAs. We used to have a lot of local or regional players, but now we're recruiting. We've got guys from 9 different states on our roster. So we've got guys coming in from all over, and these are guys that their coaches are helping them try to find a place to play football, and the coaches primarily work with guys that have high GPAs to begin with and that are good football players. So those are the recruits that we're working on now and bringing in.
So we've had 5 games. We have a 6th game coming up against Whitworth. What's been your highlight of the season so far?
Well, the highlight of the season is to have had a season. Now, winning is the greatest and the ultimate goal. But, there's a lot of little victories along the way. We got through this season, and there was some trepidation as to whether we were going to successfully make it through a season. So to have done that with just a couple of bumps in the road, just a couple of we lost a couple of games. A couple of games were canceled, but we didn't cancel them. The other teams canceled those games, except for those 2. We made it from game 1 to the last game, and we're happy to do it. And again, I always look at things, little victories like not having any major injuries among our players, not having bus breakdowns that lead to the cancellation of a game, and everything in between. So to me, there's all kinds of victories. But as far as games, it's been nice this year that we've been competitive. And obviously we want to win all those games, but right now with a brand new team and a brand new coaching staff, to be consistently competitive against NCAA competition is very good. And we had 1 big win, and we had 3 other games that we were very much in and led at one point, and sometimes well into the 4th quarter. So we're knocking on the door. We're getting close. It's going to take just a little bit to push us over the top in some of these games. But again, we have primarily a freshman roster, so we're very excited with how well these guys are doing this early on in their college careers.
So talking about NCAA opponents, the Loggers are an NCAA Division III affiliated team. What does that mean?
Well, it's an affiliation, and it basically means that, well, bottom line, what it's meant is NCAA Division III opponents have sought us out to schedule games with us. That really is the primary success and the primary prize, of being affiliated. And we've been very well accepted by the Northwest Conference teams. We've played most of all of those teams. We play another one this weekend at Whitworth. We played one last week at George Fox University. Before that, we were at Linfield. So it's really great to consistently get on the field, and visiting those schools is so nice. Their facilities are great, new fields at some of those places. Pacific's got a pretty new field. George Fox has got a pretty new field. So, I mean, we just love to be invited to the party. We like to be accepted by those schools, and they like working with us, and we like working with them. So it's been a good partnership.
So, probably getting started on recruiting already with just a few weeks left in the season. So you probably have things you've got to get to and practice and everything like that. But I thank you for taking a few minutes to talk with us, and go Loggers.
Always a pleasure, Romney. And I would also like to thank all our loyal fans. We've got games, very few at home. We just had one home game. And for our fans, again, and their families that spread out over 8 states, for as many of them to come in and travel to our games, it's been really great. And the ones that can't make it are following us on the feed here and watching us online, and it's been really great. A lot of support and a lot of great people, a lot of nice people. I've gotten the opportunity to meet the parents, and couldn't ask for a better bunch of guys and a better group of parents to work with.
Thanks, Bob.
You're welcome.
Go Loggers.
Go Loggers.